Hey you guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video of Chris out in the forest. So I've come back to an area this is an area here that I did a video like right here. This tree may be familiar. It was the I'm on a trail eating a sandwich video. That's how you can tell, like, with funny titles what videos are what. I think it's funny, I don't know. So, but when I came here, I kind of walked down this area here. And when I came in, this time I went a little bit farther up the hill. I don't know if you can tell, I'm standing, hill goes like this. So, I'm standing on the hill. So I went up this hill in the Jeep. And it looked like a trail, but it turned into kind of a footpath, and it was on the side of a pretty steep hill, and I was having to kind of climb over tree roots, and I got almost to the top and it said private property. Now I finally got some information about this general area that I've been doing all my exploration in, other than last video where I did that high mountain one where we're just in the Jeep cruising around. I talked to someone once. I was telling, man, I was going up there forever. I kept seeing private property. Well, here's the lowdown on that area and this whole area in general here. This small little area that I've been exploring since I've moved out here. There was all kinds of mines out here, like gold mines, right? The Arizona gold rush. And I imagine there's other resources out here as well. But there's all these mines out here, and the mines that were privately owned, they were here before it was a national forest. And that's why I'm like, how do all these people have land inside the national forest? Especially kind of like, it's not on the edges, it's kind of in the middle of this particular district. Well, it's because of these old mining claims. They're not active mines. They haven't been for, who knows, maybe 100 years. You know, these mines are really old. But the ones that were privately owned have been passed down or sold or whatever, and people can actually own the land privately and have like a cabin or their own little camping area to go to. They're not really big areas, but when there's a lot of little ones around, these little claims. And up farther, this town was built, you know, like a mining town to support the local biggest mines that I guess employed a lot of people. So that's how the town up there came to be, and that's why there's a town in the middle of national forest, because it was there before, you know, the feds took over and made it national forest. So long story long, that's why, you know, in some of these areas I'm coming across some private properties, which isn't that big of a deal, because most of these places, it's not where someone lives. There's not a lot of activity. It's probably like a summer thing or a getaway place. But up in that town and up farther where I was driving the Jeep around in the last video, they do live up there. Which I explored the area. It was fun. It was cool, but it's nothing that appeals to me as far as, you know, trail hiking, camping, any of that stuff. Way too steep, way too rocky, and too much private property. The good news is the places that I can get to in my Jeep, which is back this way, and there's nothing but national forest. There's no mines, there's no private property, and no average people go back there because it's pretty aggressive trail getting back there. You need a high clearance, you know, narrow four-wheel drive. So that's good. That's good to cover this local area. So finally getting some information. Today I was walking around and I actually got my bear spray with me today. Because the bears are active. It's been warm. It's been between 70 and 80 this week and last week. And what's weird is on the East Coast there's like crazy snowstorms. So I brought my bear spray out just in case. Obviously, if they're active, just want to be careful. You know, there's a lot of activity in this area. Maybe in your area there's bears, but no one ever sees them. There's a lot here, okay? So I just want to make sure I have something, and this bear spray would be, you know, first line of defense. I don't have to shoot a bear if you know anything ever happened. But you want to be ready. But I did get grips when I got my holster for my Rex. This was my last video where I did the Rex video. I got these are Hogue grips. They're like that, what is G10 material, and they're green, like green with some black in them. I think it looks pretty good. Feels really good in the hand. It's no thicker or thinner than the stock grips, and I gotta wear in this holster though. It's a Kydex holster, and it's not of the best quality. I've got some really nice Kydex holsters for other guns. This one's not of the best quality. At the top, it's kind of like this, so I have to kind of force it in, pry it in, and then it slides in. I might have to you can actually heat those back up yourself if you need to move some stuff around. I might have to do that. But the inside the waistband holster is pretty nice. It's like a carbon fiber with a leather backing. So it's pretty good. All of them need to be broken in though. You can't just go to town. Anyway, I'm gonna try and grab the other camera. We'll do some walking around, and the audio quality is gonna be lower because I'm gonna just be using the onboard mics. But I wanted to do a little adventuring around, and then maybe have some lunch. Well, I think this will be a good test with this particular little camera. Walking around, I'm holding it. I know the audio quality is pretty bad in comparison to my other mic, but this is I sold my other GoPros, and I was able to get that newest GoPro that has image stabilization on it, and that's what I have here. The idea when this first came out, look at this dry riverbed here, right down here. Well, it's not actually dry. There's a little bit, but you can see how it's a valley, how it would come roaring through here, I bet. A lot of downed trees in this area. Some winds, but this camera was supposed to have a gimbal that you could get and attach it like to your shoulder strap of your backpack. But when the drones got recalled for GoPro, they kind of recalled the gimbals, and now I'm hearing that now they've been re-released that the gimbal doesn't work that good. Plus it's ridiculously expensive, so I don't know if I could actually justify that. But so we'll try and handhold this thing, see if the audio is not too bad, if the picture quality is okay, and if their image stabilization actually works, would be pretty cool. Whew, now remember, 1, I'm fat and out of shape. 2, I'm at over 6,500 feet here, so I'm at elevation. The air's a lot thinner than maybe where you're used to walking. So if you hear me, well, you're gonna hear me chugging. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Nice area though. I really like these. I don't know if you can tell. See this hill? That's where I went up in the Jeep, way up there. I don't know if you can tell how steep that is. If you look at the base of the trees, you might be able to tell. It might be hard with this camera, but really neat little area. Another new exciting discovery. Just a little bit of water. Barely moving, but enough that if you ran out of water and you needed to boil some water to drink, there's plenty here that you could get, like a little pool like this one, like this guy. Plenty there. It's moving a little bit. You can see it's flowing a little, so it's not stagnant. You can see how it runs up this valley. It runs all up this valley. But that's where I went up there in the Jeep, up that big hill. And then I had to turn around on like this crazy goat trail, which was pretty wild. What the heck? Is that a tree stand? I see a tree stand over here for hunting. Can you see it up there? Huh. I didn't know. Oh, that's the first first little bit of anything like I saw for hunting. I don't know, like I said, bear with me on this camera. This is the first time. You guys know that I like to try a lot of different camera angles out, different stuff. Try and bring a better feel to the videos. And I would really like to capture this type of stuff as good as I can, the walking and talking while I'm out of breath. Walk on this side hill. Oh, this area is just ridiculously cool. I don't know. So from the valley over there, come around, and then it goes down, and then way up a giant mountain over there. Really cool area. Like, oh, the sun feels so good. You know, as much as I really enjoyed, oh, my mouth is dry, I need to get some water. As much as I really enjoyed that little bit of winter I was able to get here when I first moved here. I mean, there was snow, but I didn't get to experience a whole lot of that. Being from California, doing all that stuff in the desert, I really love the sun. I like the warm weather. You know, I like hot weather. I normally sweat all the time anyway, so you might as well it be hot and sweaty. You know what I mean? I really like the warm weather, but I do like the option of being able to do the same stuff, hiking, camping, shooting, off-roading, with rain and snow and the other elements, and be able to, you know, try out winter gear versus just, you know, t-shirt and shorts, which is what I'm used to, you know, wearing, other than because when I'm, you know, work all the time, I gotta wear long pants so my legs don't get much sun in comparison, but that's okay. It feels good right now walking around, so I think I'm gonna grab some water, maybe have a little bit of lunch. All right, you guys, I think it's time to try and whip up a quick lunch. Let's see what I brought here. All right, no fire today. Got a hat, got a mountain house. I think I brought, yep, cooking set. All right, perfect. Let's get comfortable. So in all the last videos I've been doing the fire stuff, so I thought I'd try something a little different. This is a jet boil. It's the jet boil Minimo. Now I wasn't real hip on what all these things were, but I did look into it enough to find out that this Minimo is actually, it's like a wide mouth one. The other ones seem narrower and taller. So I thought, that might be cool, because you can get in there and stir it if you need to, rather than, you know, I don't know. It just seems like you could cook more things, different things in this one. So I went with it. All right, let's see. It's been a while since I actually used this bad boy. No, it's got a, that's right, in the lid here, it's got a stabilizer. There we go. Seems stable enough. All right, water. I should have brought water. Water. All right, how does this work again? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm pretty sure that, let's see, this is 16 ounces. I'm pretty sure that's what it takes to cook these Mountain House ones up. I did have this in the next to the MRE section. It's pretty cool. Beef stew. Put this bad boy in gear. Oh, I found a spoon in here. This is the spoon. I always bring an extra spoon for Niels because he always forgets his. That's no joke. He always forgets his spoon. So I bring an extra one. And then I try and keep those spoons from the MREs. It's pretty cool. They work pretty good. This shouldn't take too long. Get this thing prepped up. Don't forget to take out your desiccant pack. Looks pretty good. Looks like a lot of potatoes in there, which we like potatoes. Think of all of our trash. That thing really goes. I mean, I guess the name is pretty fitting, Jet Boil. The thing goes fast. What we'll do is get this boiling, pour it in. I think we wait about 10 minutes or so and we'll come back. Just going to show you how fast this stuff cooks. Oh, it's almost ready. It's boiling. Wow. That is super fast. That is super duper fast. Alright, let's try not to spill it on ourselves. Yes, the bottom is getting very, very hot where I'm holding. Oh! Whew. Okay. So on these meals, what I found was, depending on how you like whatever it is, you know, if it's something like this, which is beef stew, if you want it, you know, more soupy, you just add the full amount of water. If you want it a little less soupy, add less water. It works really good. These meals are actually pretty good. All right, I'm gonna wait, give this thing about 10 minutes or so, and we'll come back. All right, well, I think she's done. Smells pretty good. See if I can get you guys a view of that. Look at all those potatoes in there. It's a little soupy. This one is called beef stew from Mountain House. If you guys aren't familiar with, oh, one other thing I want to mention, if there's some gear or something I'm using and you guys want me to let you know what it is, just let me know down in the comment section and I'll let you know. Like this spoon, this is my favorite spoon because it's like really long and skinny. You kind of get down into these bags. This is a Vargo titanium spoon. I really like this one. Really like this one. So there's a lot of chunks of potatoes, which is good. Peas, carrots, and beef chunks. The potatoes are really good. The peas are good. They, you know, peas and carrots, stuff like that can be weird. They can be hard or mushy. You don't really want them hard or mushy. They got to be somewhere in between, which is where it's at here. And the beef, is fine. You know, as good as it could be expected from kind of a trail food like this. These kind of foods, you know, they're not the most healthy for you. Meals like this, to get any kind of flavor out of them, you're going to find a lot of sodium in them. So I would limit the amount of times you eat something like this. I wouldn't make it your normal regimen of food. But if you're going something lightweight, maybe for a day, and you want something that really hearty, a good big meal like this, to where you're gonna have your water and something like this. This is a perfect thing to hike with because it's really lightweight. Give you the energy you need. All kinds of different flavors and stuff. I got went and picked just a few of them, and I've had them. I probably had this one for over a year. You know, they're long term. They can keep for a long time. So that's another good thing, that maybe you have some of this stuff, and if you live in an area that a storm or a hurricane or earthquake, something comes through, and maybe stores are closed, you know, some kind of situation like that. Stuff like these, as long as you have fresh water or water that you can boil, and then you can have these kind of meals. It's kind of a good backup. They're not the most cost-effective thing, but because they have such a long-term shelf life, I think it balances out, where you might be able to buy something that's cheaper that won't last, or some canned food that won't feed as many people. Every one of these that I've had, the different flavors and stuff, I found to be okay. You know, you're not gonna wake up and yell at the neighbors, tell you how delicious it is, but it's not terrible. If you're eating something and you're willing to eat the whole thing, not just because you're really, really hungry, but it means it tastes okay. That's kind of how these are. Pick and choose wisely which ones you try, but that's gonna do it, you guys. I'm gonna finish up my meal, just enjoy being out here, and head back and do some more work. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me once again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.